By the end of this video, you're going to be able to create a professional e-commerce website like this one, with a custom homepage, a store page with filters and search, product detail view, cart page, and checkout page with multiple payment methods. All of this in less than 3 hours and with no previous experience needed. Also, using only free tools like WordPress, WooCommerce, Elementor, and the Astra team. My name is Juan Sebastián from TutoPress, and my mission is to help you thrive in the digital marketing world. Before getting started, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you have any questions, leave it on the comment section. I'll answer all of them. Now, let's get started. In order to have a professional website the user can trust on, you need a domain and hosting. And this is the only thing you need to pay for. But don't worry, it's very cheap. A domain is the actual website name the user types on the browser. For instance, Amazon.com, Walmart.com, or Facebook.com. Normally, your domain name is the name of your brand. So if my brand is TutoPress, my domain name should be something like tutopress.com. The only thing to have in mind is that the domain name must be available. That means that should not be bought for somebody else yet. Luckily, that's something we can easily verify in the purchase process. The hosting is the repository where you store all of your files and assets used for the website to load. To get your domain and hosting, I recommend you to go to this website called Siteground, which is one of the best hosting providers for WordPress. Make sure to use the link in the description to get a huge discount. One of the best things about Siteground is their excellent customer support, so if you have any problem, you can call or start a chat with them. Now go to the hosting menu and select WooCommerce Hosting. Click on the View Plans button or scroll down a little bit, and you're going to see these 3 plans. And you may ask, which of them should I choose? So there are 3 things to have in mind. The first thing is your budget. The second thing is how many websites are you going to host on the hosting? So for the startup plan, you can only host 1 website, but for the Grow Big, you can host unlimited website, and the same goes for the Go Geek plan. And the third variable is how many visitors are you expecting to have each month? So the startup plan is suitable for 10,000 visits monthly. The Grow Big plan is suitable for 100,000 visits monthly, and the Go Geek plan is suitable for 400,000 visits monthly. All of them have free SSL, is for making your website secure. They have free CDN for making your website faster. They have also free corporate email and many other features, so any of them you choose is a great choice. So my advice here is to get the best plan you can pay for. For this tutorial, I'm going to choose the Grow Big plan. Click on the Get Plan button and you're going to be taken to the second step, which is register your domain. Here you have to type the domain name you want for your website. I'm going to choose My Awesome Store. And on the right side, you can find the extension. You can select .com or any of the others. Normally, the most well-known extension is .com, so I suggest you to use that one. Click on the button. In this case, this domain name is not available, but Siteground is giving you another options you can choose. You can select one of them, or you can change your domain name. Let's try again. Now I'm on the step 3 and Siteground is saying that the domain name is available, so we are good to go. Now you have to add your account information, your email, your password to access to the hosting, and your personal data. And below you have to add your payment information, your credit card, and after that you can find your purchase information. And as you can see here, I selected 12 months or 1 year. I suggest you to do the same. And below you can find the summary of your order. So in my case it's €98 for 1 year of services, including hosting and domain. So I'm going to add my information and see you on the next step. Now my payment is confirmed and now I can go to set up my website. Click on the Start a New Website option and down select WooCommerce. Now here add your email address and here add a password that's going to be used to access WordPress. Make sure your password is strong and then hit continue. Now we are all set. If you see something like this that we need to verify your domain, you are going to receive an email like this one, and the only thing you have to do is click on the link and you have to verify that the information is correct. You have to click on the verify information button. Now that everything is verified, you can close this and now you can log in into the WooCommerce admin. If you see a 404 page or a message saying that the site is not secure, you have to go back to the previous tab and click Site Tools. Here, go to the Security menu and go to the SSL Manager. Now with your domain select, go to the right side and select a Let's Encrypt certificate and click on the Get button. Our security certificate is being processed and this could take a couple minutes. Now that my certificate is installed, I'm going to go here on the Actions panel on the 3 dots and select Enforce HTTPS. I'm going to click this toggle button and my site should be secure now. If I go to my website, copying this domain here and pasting on a new tab, I'm going to see that I have a log sign, meaning that my website is secure. Congratulations, you have your hosting and domain installed. Now you have to go to the administration to start making your professional website. To do so, type on the browser /wp-admin and hit enter. You're gonna be taken to the administration. Use the same credential you put on the previous step, your email and your password. If you see a screen like this one, click on the exit button. The first thing we are going to do is to disable the unneeded plugins. So let's go to the plugins menu. And if you have this plugin called Siteground Central, click on the deactivate link. The next thing we are going to do is to install the Astra theme. But what is a theme? A theme is in charge of the look and feel of a website. So if you hover over your website name and right click there and open in a new window, you can see your website. This design is determined by your theme. So we are going to change this theme and we are going to do that going back to the administrator section and going to the appearance tab. Here you can click the add new button to add a new theme. And here on the search box, we are going to type Astra. The first result is the right one. So click on the install button, wait for the thing to download, and next click on the activate button. Now if you go to the appearance tab again, you are going to see that our active theme is the Astra theme. So if you go to the website and refresh, you are going to see that now the website looks different because we changed our theme. The next thing we have to do is go back to the administration and click on the plugins, add new menu. And here search for the starter themes plugin. If you see this plugin, click on the install button and then click on the activate button. Now that we activate this plugin, we are going to have a new menu under Appearance, Starter Templates. Click there and you are going to see a window like this one. So you have to scroll down a little bit and you are going to see this button. Click there and click on the Elementor button. The purpose of this plugin is to give you a lot of starter templates, so you have many options to select from. In this case, we are going to select or click on the e-commerce button, and there you have all of the templates related with e-commerce. The one we are going to use today is located below and is called Simply Natural. So click there. And now we can select our logo, but we can do that after. So click on the Skip and Continue button. And now you can select a color scheme. Let's do the default ones because we can change again everything. So scroll down a little bit and click on the Continue button. And here, please leave all of these options checked and click on the Submit and Build My Website button. This may take a little bit, so be patient. Our website is done. So now if you go back to your website, the front end on the other tab, and you refresh your website, you are going to see a fully functional website now, an e-commerce that we are going to use as a starter template. So now let's go back to the administration and click on this icon to exit to the dashboard. You might see a lot of messages, so you can close all of them here and skip setup. And next we are going to delete all the unneeded pages. So please click on the Pages menu, and we are going to delete the About page, the Cart page because we have it duplicated, the Checkout page because we have another duplicate, the Contact page, or you can leave it this one if you want. We are going to delete the My Account, the one that is not labeled as My Account page. And we are going to delete the sample page and the shop page. Yeah, all of them. So now click here and click on the Move to Trash option and then click Apply. All of these pages are going to move to the trash. Now we have only the pages we are going to use. Now I'm going to show you how to customize the template. Hover over the Appearance menu and click the Customize menu. We are going to be taken to the Customizer. And here you can customize everything from your header to your footer. All of the general, let's say, options are available to be customized. So if you hover over your logo, you can click on the Edit button or the pencil and you can change your logo. If you click on the pencil on the header section, you can change the header section. If you click on the menu, you can change your menu. If you click on the card icon, you can change that too. If you click on the account, you can change how the account looks like. So the first thing we are going to edit is the menu to be able to navigate through the store. Remember that we already deleted some pages, so some of them might not be available. Make sure to go back, clicking the left arrow button again until you're on this view. So now click on the menus menu. And now click on the main menu option. And now you can notice that all of the links here belongs to the main menu here. And we can add new items or reorder the current items. Click on the Add Items button and you now will be able to delete some of the pages. Let's remove this one that says invalid. Click on the X button and let's delete the store page that says Elementor and the Contact Us page that says Elementor. And let's add the page that says Shop page. Let's click there on the plus icon and it's going to be added here. And now let's click on the reorder link. Now you see that each menu has some arrows. You can click on the top to make it go to the top. And let's position this one as second. Click on the Done options and now you have a functional menu. Let's click now on the shop page, and this is how your website will look like. Let's start by changing the global options like the background color, the font size, the colors, and the font type. To do that, let's go back here again and make sure you are on this section. And now click on the global option. Click on the typography menu, and now here you can change the typography of the whole website. So you can choose any of the fonts you have available here. So the presets have one font for the headings and one font for the body. Each time you click on the preset, you are changing basically these two font types. If you click on the reset button, it's going to change to the original theme font. Of course, you can select the font you want, but in this case, I'm going to leave the original font since I like it. Now let's go back and click on the colors option. Now here you can define a global palette. Here is where you have to add the colors of your brand. In this case, I'm going to click on the pencil button, and as you can see here, we have some predefined color palettes. I'm going to click on the second one since I like the colors it has. And as you can see, all of the colors of the template changed. Now if you click on the close button, you can override this colors palette and add the ones you like. As secondary color, I'm going to click in this icon to add a hexadecimal color, and I'm going to paste my color. Now I have it here, and as color number 5, since these two are white, I'm going to change this one to be a gray color. I'm going to click on the icon and paste a gray color. This is going to be my color palette, and as you can see, I have a background color here that I don't like. To change that, I'm going to click on the side background option, click here, and I'm going to select the white color. Now my background is white. I'm going to hit the publish button just to see how my website is changing. So I'm going to go to the website here, and I'm going to refresh. Now all of the buttons and the colors of the website are different. If I go to the shop page, everything is going very well. Now let's continue. And if there is something that you want to change, like the accent color, the link color, you can change it from here. The headings color, for instance, and the links color, this is the normal state and this is the hover state. So if you see here, when I hover over a link, it's going to change to the second color. I'm happy with my color, so I can go back and let's see what the containers option has. This option is going to define the layout, the basic layout or the default layout of my website. I'm going to leave the default one, and I'm going to leave this container width. So I'm going to go back. Now we are going to check the buttons menu. If you go back to the home page, because we need some buttons to preview, you can see that there are some buttons here. If you click the buttons option and you can start clicking the presets, you now see that the buttons are going to change. Select one of the presets and then start personalizing from there. So let's say that I want these rounded buttons, and now you can start personalizing the text color. I'm going to leave it white, the background, the hover state, and the border color, but in this case we don't have any border, so it doesn't matter. If you click on the reset button, everything is going to go back to the default. And here you can add more padding, that is inner space, the space between the text and the border. Let's say I want 15 here on the top and 15 on the bottom, and 25 on the right and 25 on the left. And here with the border radius option, you can select how rounded the corners are. Once you are happy with your buttons, click on the publish button And now let's see how the buttons change on the home page. If you click the home page here, you can see that the buttons now are rounded as we selected on the customizer. Now let's go back to the administration and scroll up and go back to the previous section. And now let's go back again, because now we are going to work on our header. So click on the shop page. And now let's click on the header builder. This is a very interesting option because now you have 3 sections, 1, 2, and 3. And each section has 3 columns. As you can see here, you have the site title and logo here. Then you have a blank space, and after you have a primary menu, that is this menu. You have the card, that is this one, and you have the account, that is this one. And you can drag and drop any of these items or add new items to create your custom header. So if you want your primary menu to be on the left column, you can drag and drop there. Or if you want it on the center column, it's going to work very well. I'm going to drag here my reference website, the one that I already made. And as you can see here, I'm going to add a top header with a text. I'm going to add the logo, the menu on the center column. And on the right side, I'm going to have a search bar, the card, and the account. So let's do that by going again to the customizer. And here I'm going to add the text. I'm going to copy this text. And going back to the administration, I'm going to hit the plus icon here. And I'm going to select HTML1. Now my top header is visible and I have a text box here. So I'm going to click in this item. And now you see that I have the option to add my HTML or my text. So I'm going to paste here my text. And now we have our custom text on top. Now that we have our section visible, we can click here on the gear button, or we can click here on the pencil button to customize the background color of this top header. When you click there, you are going to see 2 tabs. On the general tab, you can change the height of the top menu. You can make it bigger or smaller. I'm going to leave it in 40 pixels of height. And on the design tab, you can change the background color. I'm going to select this gray. I'm going to remove the border button, changing this to 0. And now I'm going to leave everything as is now. If I click again the HTML1 component, I can click on the design tab to change the color and the font size of this text. So I'm going to make this text smaller, let's say 14 is okay. And you can change the text color, let's say something less darker, something like this. I like that. And now I'm going to add another component, that is the search bar here. So I'm going to click on the plus button and I'm going to select the search. Now I can drag the search to the right, and if I see my reference website is very close to what I need, I just need to change the logo and I need to change how the icons looks like. I'm going back to the customizer, and in order to change my logo, I can hover over the logo and I can click the pencil, or I can click the component site title and logo, and we are on the general tab. Now we can change our logo by clicking on this button, change logo, and we are going to see the WordPress media library. Here you can drag and drop your file, your image, or you can click the select file button and you can search for your image. Double click to open it and it's going to be uploaded. Now here on the alt text, add a description of your image. And then click on the select button. Here you can click the skip cropping button. And now we are going to get rid of this text here by clicking on the display site title option, disabling that. Now we have only our logo. We are going to make it bigger by dragging this size I like. I'm going to add 200. And now I'm going to work on my menu. So click on the pencil button hovering over the menu or clicking on the primary menu component. And now I'm going to click on the design tab. And the only thing I'm going to change here is that I'm going to make the font size uppercase. I can do that by going down to the font section and clicking on the pencil. And now I'm going to add a text transform. I'm going to click on the uppercase option and they are going to be uppercased. Now on the weight options, I'm going to select semi-bold. Well, that was too much. Medium maybe. Yeah, I like that. So I'm done with the menu and I'm going to click the X button to close everything. But just a reminder, you can change everything here. You can change the text links, colors. You can add a spacing. You can add a border color. You can change the animation. And well, a lot of things. Now let's hit publish to see how is it going. I'm going to go to the front end and to the shop page. And the website is looking really good. Now I'm going to personalize how these icons look like. Let's go back to the customizer and let's click on each of the components or by clicking on the component here. So for the search icon on the design tab, you can change the color of the icon. I'm going to leave it as is now. So I'm going to personalize now the card by clicking here on the component or by hovering over the card and clicking on the pencil. Here you can personalize the icon that is going to be used here. I like this back, the first one. You can personalize the label that in this case is the cart total. What I'm going to do is to delete everything. I'm going to leave this empty. You can display the cart count, the number here. You can hide the cart total label. Well, I removed from here, so it's the same. And you can change how the cart will look like when the customer click on the actual cart, on the cart icon. By default, it's a sliding cart, but it can be a drop-down cart as well. So to check how it works, I'm going to add a product on the front end. I'm going to go back to the front end here, and I'm going to select one of the products. And now I'm going to add to cart one of them. Now that we have one of the products, I'm going to go back to the customizer and I have one already. So now I can see it in action. So as you can see, it's a sliding cart, but I can make it a drop-down cart. Let's see how it looks. When you hover over, the drop-down cart appears, but I like the slide-in cart better. Great, so it's appearing on the right side, but you can change it to the left side. The most standard way to display it is on the right, so I'm going to leave it on right. I'm going to leave the sliding cart width by default, how is it now. And now I'm going to click on the design button. So I'm going to click the cart just to check how this slide cart is looking. But first, we can change the cart icon. So I'm going to close this one just to see the cart icon, and you can change it to be outline or to be filled. I like the outline style, and you can change here the cart color. I'm going to choose the dark color, the dark gray. And on the count color, we can change also the color of the text here. I'm going to leave it a white, and here white as well on the hover state. For the border radius, I'm going to leave it in 0, and the size, I'm going to leave it in 15. Now we can customize the cart tray by clicking on the button and to have a preview here. So you can change the background, the separator color, the links color, and you can personalize also the buttons. This is the cart button and this is the checkout button. You can change the text and the background. Now you have the spacing. I'm going to leave everything as is now, and now I'm going to hit publish. I'm going to check how is it going here by going to the shop page. Okay, everything is looking really good. Now I'm going again to the customizer just to finish customizing this session icon by clicking on the pencil or by clicking on the account component. So for the profile type, I'm going to select icon to display this gray icon. On the account URL, I'm going to leave my account only this part. But you might think why it is my account URL. That's the URL because we created a page, or the theme or the starter theme created a page that is called my account. I'm going to show you this by clicking here and going to the pages. And you can see here that we have a my account page, and if we click on the view button, I can see here that my page has a URL that is my account too. So what I'm going to do here is to go back, and I'm going to change the URL of this page, clicking on the quit edit button, and I'm going to remove the -2, erase that, and hit update. Now I'm going to click again to the view button, and now the URL is correct. It's my -account. I'm going to go to the customizer and verify that it is the same URL here. Now I can continue customizing the account icon. So for the logged out view, I'm going to leave the icon, and again the login URL is going to be my account. So I'm going to copy here this URL and I'm going to paste it here. My account is the same one. So now I can hit publish, and I can go back to the products page or the shop page, and my header is completed. Now it's time to work on the footer. To do so, I'm going to see our reference page. I'm going to go to scroll down, and this is the footer. So we are going to follow the same logic. I'm going to go to the customizer, I'm going to scroll down, and this is our footer. So we can go back here on the left arrow all the way until this section, and you can click on the footer builder. So the first thing I'm going to do is to change the background color of the main footer and of the bottom footer. So to do that, let's go back to the customizer, and I'm going to click on the outer section of the main footer, and you can see here the pencil. You can click there, or you can click on the gear icon of the main footer, that is this one, the second one. If you click on the design tab, you can change the border. I'm going to leave it in 0, and you can change the background. I'm going to select my light gray from the template, and you can change many other options like the inner column spacing. And if you go back to the general tab, you can change how many columns you want to have on your main footer. Right now we have 4. And you can also change the layout. You can change also how the inner elements are going to behave. You have the stack option or the inline option. That means that each component is going to take 100% of the column. So I have here the logo and the social links, and one is above the other. To change this logo, you can hover over the logo and click on the pencil button, and you'll see this welcome message, you can hit the Got It button. And now you have the text editor. You can delete this by selecting and deleting. And now you can add your logo by clicking on the Add Media button and selecting your logo from the library. You can use the one you already uploaded for the header, or you can add a new one by clicking here in Upload Files. I'm going to use the one I have already. And you can click and insert into post. Now my logo is changed. You can change the social icons also clicking on the pencil icon, and you can rearrange, hide, or delete any of the social media. You can also add more social icons by clicking here. You can show the label, and you can change the alignment. You can also change the design of the buttons, their size, and their spacing. I'm going to leave it as is now, and I'm going to do a general change on the main footer. I'm going to click on the pencil icon on the outside of the footer to edit the whole section, and I'm going to select only 3 columns. I'm going to select the second layout to leave it more space to the logo. And I like how it looks now. What I'm going to do is to change this menu. You can do that by clicking on the pencil icon, and you can create and add different pages by clicking here on the add items. You can delete or you can add more pages. You can also add posts, landing page, products, product categories, whatever you want. In this case, I'm going to leave it as is now. And now I'm going to personalize the bottom footer by hovering over the footer and clicking on the pencil. This is going to take me to the previous page, to the previous screen. And I'm going to scroll down all the way. And for this footer, I'm going to choose only one column. And now I'm going to click on the Design tab, and I'm going to change the background color to be the same as the main footer. For the border size, I'm going to leave it in 0 to remove this top border. And now I'm going to center this text. To do that, I'm going to click on the copyright component. And now, if you scroll down, you're going to see this alignment option. So I'm going to click on the center. Now I'm going to publish. And I'm going to check on the front end. I'm going to refresh. And now my footer is complete. One of the most important things when creating a website is that you need to make sure that it's compatible or mobile friendly. So to check that, you can go back to the administration, and you can see here 3 devices, 1 desktop, 1 tablet, and 1 cell phone. It is very important to check your website in each device. So let's see how it looks on tablet. In this case, the logo looks really tiny, and I'm showing the site title. So I'm going to change that by clicking on the pencil. I'm going to disable the site title here, and I'm going to make the logo wider. That's much better. And now let's see the footer. The footer looks good. So now I'm going to check this mobile phone, and it has the same problem. So now I'm going to remove the site title, and I'm going to make the logo wider. This is better, and as you can see, it's working correctly. Everything looks fine. So it is good for now. If you want to check a product, you can enter into one. And as you can see, the navigation looks good also, and everything is just fine. So now hit the publish button, and we are done making our website mobile friendly. Now I'm going to click again on the desktop icon, and I'm going to go back to the shop page. I'm going to hide this menu. And now I'm going to go back to the general menu, because now we are going to change the shop page. Click on the WooCommerce option. Let's see the general configuration. And here I'm saying that I want to use the default configuration we set up on the general configuration before. Now the product catalog, which is this page, the shop page, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And here we can change how the cards or the items, the products are looking. If you change to design to, you are going to see that now we have an add to cart button here, which I think it looks very good. And I can add more columns. We have 2 columns, but right now I want 3 columns. So I change and we have now 3 columns. That's perfect. And here we can define how many products per page. Right now we are showing 12. But let's see, we want 16, that's fine. And here we can define a custom width for the container. You can choose the default or the custom one. I'm going to leave the custom because it's a little bit wider, as you can see here. And here you can decide what the shop page is going to display. So I choose to display only products, and the ordering is the default ordering, but you can change it as you want to get the more popular products first, or the average rating, or the most recent, or the cheapest. And here you can show or hide different information from each product. If you want to hide something, you can click on the eye icon. For instance, the category, I'm going to hide the category here, and I'm going to hide the ratings. If you want, you can add the add to cart button. For me, that's too much. I'm going to hide it. And now if you scroll up a little bit and you click on the design tab, you can choose the alignment of the cards. Right now it's on the left. As you can see here, the text is left aligned. But if you choose the center, it's going to change. And actually, I like this better. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to publish, and I'm going to check my website on the front end. I'm going to refresh, and this is how it's looking. I like it. It's going really well. And now I'm going back to the customizer to see what the single product has. I'm going to click in any of the products just to check. And again, the first options are for the layouts. I'm going to use the default one. And if you scroll down a little bit, you are going to see the same options as for the shop page. You can show or hide some options. So for instance, if you want to hide the category, you can hide it here. And I'm going to display the payment options because I think visually it makes you feel safer. And here, if you click the arrow button, you can select the default or the grayscale for the cards. I'm going to leave it for the color one. You can change the title, which is this one. And you can hide or display some of the other payment methods. You can also reorder everything here if you want to show the ratings on top. In this case, we don't have ratings, but for instance, I want to move the title. And let's see what it says for the add to cart options. Click it on the arrow. You can make the button wider. 50% is fine. I'm going to reset. And now for the product options, I can enable or disable the breadcrumbs. And you can enable the shipping text, which is this one. I think it's very good, so I'm going to leave it as it is now. And for the product variations, we don't have that yet, but I'm going to leave it stacked. And this option is really important, so I'm going to enable it because this one makes the add to cart sticky. So if I scroll down, the add to cart option is going to appear here. And I think that option is very useful. So I'm going to scroll down all the way and I'm going to click on the design panel. And here you can change the text color of the sticky nav, the background, the text, and the bottom background. I think it's very good as it is now, so I'm going to leave it. And I'm going to publish. I'm going to the products view and I'm going to enter into a one product just to double check that everything is looking good and it's looking fine and it's working fine. Everything is good. Now I'm going to go back to the customizer, go back here on the single product, and now I'm going to the card option. And for previewing this option, I'm going to go to the card and I'm going to click the view card option. This is a pretty standard card view, so it is fine. I'm not going to change anything. And actually, the only things you can personalize here is the proceed to checkout option, the text, and you can enable the cross-selling, which is products that are going to appear here in order for the user to buy additional things. So I'm going to leave this disable and this one enable, and I'm going to go back. Let's go to the checkout option and I'm going to click this checkout button. This is our checkout, and here we can customize a couple fields. So for instance, the company name field, this is the company name. We can change it to be hidden or optional or required. I'm going to hide this button because I think it's not needed. The address line number 2, I'm going to leave it optional, and the phone field, I'm going to leave it required. You can mark the required fields with an asterisk. I think this one is important. You can choose your privacy policy page. You can set your terms and conditions page. It's not needed, but it's good for privacy. And here you can customize your message. And this one is important because this text is going to be placed after the payment methods we are going to configure after. Here you can add something that make the user feel safer. For instance, now I'm going to publish and I'm going to double check my process. I'm going to refresh here. I'm going to check my cart page. And I'm going to check my checkout. Everything is looking good. Now I'm going to go back to the customizer, going back here, and let's see what the miss option has. There is an option to show the plus and minus. This is for the products, so I'm going to go to the products again, just to show you how that works. If you enable this, a minus and a plus button are going to be added here on the quantity. I think that's good, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to go back here and let's see the product images. So the main image width refers to the product page. So it means when you go to the product page, the size of the image is 600 pixels. And when you are on the shop page, the thumbnail width image is 300 pixels. I'm going to leave this option select since I want all my photos or my images the same size. I'm going to publish everything and I'm going to go back to the store notice option. This is for when you want to display a general message on your website. So I'm going to enable it just for you to see how it works. You can personalize your message here. You could add here a promotion, a discount, a code, a coupon code. You can change the position of the notice, hang over top. Let's see what that does. It's going to be placed above everything and is fixed. Top means that it's fixed, but it's overlapping my top menu. And at the bottom, well, fixed on the button. You can change the color. This is the text color and this is the background color. So for now, I'm not going to enable this, but I'm going to leave it with the main website color. Let's say this dark color is better. And I'm going to disable it and I'm going to publish. Now it's time to configure WooCommerce, our e-commerce plugin. So to do that, I'm going to click on the X just to close the customizer. Now I'm going to go to the WooCommerce menu, hovering over there, and I'm going to choose the settings menu. I'm going to close this message and I'm going to close this one too. And here you have to add your address. This is optional, but it's better. Your city and your country and state. You have to also add your postcode, your zip code, let's say this one. And the next option is really important. Where are you going to sell? So you have to choose if you are going to sell to all of the countries, if you want to sell to all countries except 4, and you are going to see a new field just to add the countries you are not going to sell to. Or you can sell to only specific countries. So let's say my store only ships to the United States, so it's important to add here United States. Or if my store ships to Canada too, you have to add Canada here. For the moment, I'm going to sell to all of the countries to make this easier for the example, but you have to add the countries you are selling to. The same goes for the shipping locations. There are a couple options. You can do ship to all of the countries you sell to, ship to all the countries, ship to specific countries only, or disable shipping and shipping calculations. So I think the first option is the best one. The default customer location. So the first option is the shop country and region. You can choose no location, you can choose to geolocate and geolocate with caching support. I'm going to leave the shop country region. And here you can check if you are going to calculate the taxes here on the products. Here says that the taxes will be calculated during the checkout. In my case, I'm not going to enable the tax calculations. The next option is the coupons. I'm going to enable coupons because that's a great marketing option. And the next option to calculate coupon discounts sequentially, I'm going to leave it disabled. And the next option is very important too, is the currency of your store. So in my case is United States dollars. The currency position is the left, but it could be the right, or left with space or right with space. The thousand separator is the comma. The decimal separator is the dot. And the number of decimals I'm going to use 2. I'm going to save the changes. And now I'm going to click the products tab. I'm going to close this. And now I can select the default pages. Here the shop page, I can select another or a different page, but I'm going to leave the shop page, which is the default one. I'm going to enable the Ajax add to cart. This is good for customer experience. And here the measurements, you can select the units for the weight and for the dimensions. In my case, I'm going to leave it kilograms and centimeters. You can enable or disable reviews. And you can select if you want to show the verify owner label, and if you want to allow only verify owners to review your products. You can enable the star ratings, and you can make it optional or required. Let's save this. Now you can click on the inventory option here. This tab is very important if you sell physical products and if you want to manage the stock. So if you want to do so, you have to enable this option. And here you can select how many minutes you want to hold the stock for the user that add to cart a product. And here you can enable the notifications. Those are emails that are going to be sent to your email if a product has a low stock or if it's out of stock. You can configure here the email to send the notifications to, and you can define here what the low stock threshold is and what the out of stock threshold is. You can enable this option if you want to hide the items that are out of stock. And here you can change how the stock is displayed. You can show the quantity only when it's low in stock, or you can hide the quantity. I'm going to leave the default option and I'm going to save. Now I'm going to go to the shipping tab and I'm going to click add shipping zone button. I'm going to give it a name to this zone that is United States. And on the zone regions, I'm going to choose United States. Now I'm going to add a shipping method for the United States. The first option you have is a flat rate, the second is a free shipping, and the third one is a local pickup. So as first shipping method, I'm going to select flat rate and I'm going to hit the add shipping method. And now I have it here. I'm going to edit this shipping method and I'm going to assign a flat rate to all of the shippings of $15. I'm going to save the change. And I'm going to add a second shipping method, which is going to be the free shipping. I'm going to add it here. And in order to have a free shipping, the user needs to create an order about $50. So I'm going to do that here. I'm going to edit the free shipping method. And here on the free shipping requires option, I'm going to select a minimum order amount. So I'm going to add here 50 and I'm going to hit save changes. Now we have configured our shipping methods and now we are going to go to the accounts and privacy. We are going to configure payment methods later on this tutorial, and then we are going to see the emails too. Here on the accounts and privacy options, we can enable the gets orders. That means allow customers to place orders without an account. This is very important because not all the users want to create an account. You can enable to log in the users during the checkout. That's good. I think I'm going to allow that one. You can allow the user to create an account during the checkout. You can allow them to create an account in my account page. I'm going to select both of them. And you can choose if you want to automatically generate an account and a username based on their name and surname. I'm not going to choose that one. I'm going to let them select their username and password. Then I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And here you can change some of the options we already changed on the customizer. Now I'm going to scroll down and save the changes. Now it's time to create our homepage. I'm going to go to the front end and I'm going to go to the homepage just to check what we are going to do. The idea is to get something similar to this homepage with our featured products, with this animation, with this section, and with this heading. At the moment, I know I gave you a lot of information, so if you want, I can share with you the homepage template. With this file, you can just upload the template and you are going to have the homepage finished. If you want that file, please send me an email to info@tutopress.com and I'm going to reply with all of the instructions needed to get the file and to import it into your website. But if you want to do your homepage from scratch, I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's go back to your homepage, and here there's one thing you have to notice. This is your homepage and this is your shop page. And the header is a little bit different because on the homepage, the header is transparent. If I go to the homepage, you are going to see that our header is not transparent and the configuration is different. If you see the icon here is different than the homepage. So to change that, I'm going to click on the edit page, or you can go to the administration, go to the pages, and you can click on the edit option of the homepage, edit, and you are going to see this interface. You can close this message. And now to change the header, you have to click on this button, the Astra settings, and on the advanced settings, click here and make sure that the transparent header is inherit. I'm going to return to the post and I'm going to update the post. Now I'm going to double check if that changed. And now our header is the global one. So let's get started with the header, with this heading here. Let's go back to our home page and let's click on the edit with Elementor. Now you are going to see this interface. And this could be a little confusing at the first impression, but don't worry, I'm going to explain you step by step. The first thing I'm going to do is to close this navigator. I'm not going to use it. And I'm going to explain you what Elementor is. This is a visual builder. That means that you can create your whole website visually without any code. And you can change everything from the interface. If you want to change this text, you can change it. You can write whatever you want, this other text, this background image, this link. And the most important thing you have to know is that Elementor works with sections, which is this outer square, and with columns, which are the vertical spaces. So if you see here, we have one section, which is this big one, and we have one column. The columns have this column icon. For changing this background image, I'm going to right click on the section and I'm going to choose Edit Section. You are going to see on the left panel that you have 3 tabs: Layout, Style, and Advanced. The image is located on the Style tab, so click there. And now you can see that we have an image option. So if you click there, you can change the image. Now I'm going to import my background image using the Upload Files option and select Files. Now I'm going to select my image. And don't worry, I'm going to share with you all of these assets. I'm going to leave a link on the description where you can download all of these assets. With the image selected, click on the Insert Media option. And now you have your background image. As position of the image, you can select center or you can select any other option. The best for you. I'm going to leave it on the center. And to remove this overlay, this white overlay, I'm going to click on the background overlay option. And here on the color, I'm going to click here and I'm going to click the clear option. Now I have my background image. What I'm going to do now is to make this column full width because now it's cut on the middle. So to do that, I'm going to right click on the columns icon and I'm going to click Edit Column. What I'm going to do now is to choose the Advanced tab, and you are going to notice that we have a margin right of 15%. I'm going to change this to be 0. And now my column is full width. I'm going to check my reference website. And as you can see here, I have a title, another title but bigger, and I have a button. Here in Elementor, I have a title, a bigger title, and a button. So we have all of the components. So the first thing I'm going to do is to center the text and the buttons. I'm going to right click on the text and I'm going to click Edit Heading. And as you can see here, you can change the title, text, and you can change the alignment. I'm going to make it centered. It is centered now. And I'm going to copy this text. And I'm going to paste it here. Have it here. And now what I'm going to do is to change the font color. To do that, I'm going to the Style tab. And now I'm going to click on this text color option on the color picker. And I'm going to select white. Now my text is white. I'm going to check my reference site. I see the font size is bigger, so I'm going to change that by clicking on the typography option on the pencil, and I'm going to increase the font size. With this slider, you can change the font size. Something like this is good. And I'm going to increase the letter spacing. I like how it looks now. And I'm going to do the same for the bigger text. I'm going to right click here and click on the Edit Heading option. I'm going to copy my text, casual in this case. And I'm going to paste it here. It's casual, and I'm going to center the text. And now I'm going to go to the Style tab, change the color to white again. Click outside to close. And I'm going to make the typography bigger. I'm going to choose pixels instead because I had EM select. So I'm going to choose pixels and I'm going to make it bigger. Something like this. On the weight, I'm going to make it bold. That's too much. Let's say 500. I think it didn't change anything, but it's fine. I'm going to increase a little bit the letter spacing. Let's see the reference. And I have to add a border. Let's do that. I'm going to click outside to close it. I have to lower the opacity of the text by clicking on the color again and decreasing this slider to make it more opaque. Let's say like this, for instance. And now I'm going to click on the text stroke option. I'm going to increase the stroke. This is the border, and I'm going to make it a white. That's much better. I have to decrease this space. So what I'm going to do is to click on the Advanced tab, and I'm going to click on this link icon, and I'm going to add a negative margin on top. So I'm going to decrease the margin. Let's say 25. Now it's looking very similar. I have to do my button. I'm going to right click on the button and click on the edit button. I'm going to align this button to the center. That's the first thing I'm going to do. And next, I'm going to change the background color. Oh, but first, you can change the link of the button from here. So I'm going to do /shop. You can change that after if you want. But now I'm going to go to the Style tab to change the styles. Let's see our reference. The text is a little bit bigger. The background is transparent and we have a border white. So let's do that. Let's select the typography, the pencil button to increase the font size. On the weight, I'm going to select something thinner, let's say 500, and 20 pixels is fine. I'm going to click outside to close this, and now on the background type color, on the background color option, I'm going to click there, and I'm going to make it transparent by selecting this and lower the opacity to 0. I'm going to click outside, and now on the border type, I'm going to select solid. And I'm going to select, let's say 1 or 2. And as border color, I'm going to select white, of course. It's looking much better. And now as border radius means how rounded the corners are. I'm going to select, let's see, something like 12. It's fine. And you can add padding, that means inner space, but I think this looks good. If you want, you can change it. But to me, it looks really good. What I'm going to do now is to decrease the height of this header. So to do that, I'm going to click on the section, the outer section, right click here and click on the edit section option. I'm going to click on the layout. And here I'm going to decrease the minimum height to be something like this. And now I have to reposition the background image, and I want to remove this border radius here, these rounded corners. To do that, I'm going to go to the Style tab again, and on the position of the image, I'm going to select Top Center. That's much better. Now, to remove the rounded corners of the heading, I'm going to click on the border option, and then I'm going to make this 0. 0 to the right and 0 to the left. Now you can hit the update button just to check how is it going on the front end. I'm going to go to the front end again, and I'm going to refresh. This heading is looking really good. If we see our reference size, we can see that the next section contains 2 images, one for the woman category and one for the men category. So let's do that, but going again to the administration, and we see that we have this section here, and on our reference size, this section is below. So we need to drag that section below. If you hover over the section, you can see that we see these 6 dots. If you click there and drag, you can scroll down by keeping the click, and you can drop the section wherever you want. In this case, this section is below the feature section, so there is fine. Now we have these 3 columns, and we only need 2. So going back to the administration, we can delete one of the sections by clicking on the columns icon, right clicking there, and clicking on the delete option. Now we only have 2 sections, but the problem of this section is that the images are on the background. They are background images, and we need the images to be on top of the text. Right now, they are background images. So to delete that images, right click on the column icon and click on the edit column option. Now go to the style panel, and you see the image here. Click on the bin icon to remove the image. And now we need to remove this big blank space here. To do that, let's click on the Advanced tab and click on the link icon, and here at 20 pixels, or maybe 30, could be better. And when you have the link active, that means you are going to add 30 or the number you want to each of the sites. What I'm going to do now is to right click on the text, and I'm going to click Edit Image Box. Right here, I'm going to add the image on top of the text by clicking here and uploading my images. I'm going to upload the men and women photographs, both of them. And on the left, I'm going to add the women category. So I'm going to select the women photograph, and I'm going to click on the Insert Media button, making sure that the image size is full. And here you can also add the link to the category. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to go to the Style panel, and I'm going to make sure that the width of the image is 100%. So the image is full width. Now I'm going to go back to the Content tab, and I'm going to change the title to be Woman. You can change the styles of the content by going to the Style panel again, and if you scroll down a little bit, you are going to see this tab, the Content tab. And as you can see, you can modify the title and the description. For instance, if you want to make this title bolder, you can click on the typography on the title section on the edit button, and you can change the font weight to be like 600 for instance, or 500. Let's say 600 is fine. And now that my first column is ready, what I'm going to do to save a lot of time is to copy the styles of the column first by clicking on the column icon, right clicking there, and I'm going to click on the copy option. And now I'm going to go to the next column, right clicking on the column icon, and I'm going to select paste style. I'm only going to paste the styling, so click there. and you have the same style for the two columns now. And now I'm going to do the same for the image box. Right click on the image box and I'm going to click on the copy option, and I'm going to right click on the next one on the right image box, right click there, and I'm going to hit paste style. Now my style is the same for both the images and the column. What I need to do is just to add the image here. So what I'm going to do here is right click on the image box and click on the edit image box option. Now I need to add the image here. I'm going to add the main category image, and I'm going to add the text here. Let's see if I'm missing something. Going to the reference side, I'm missing the animation. And to add that, I'm going to go back to Elementor and I'm going to right click on the first column, the left one, edit image box option. And we have here a hover animation option. So I'm going to change that one to be shrink. And when I hover the image, you see that it's going to be animated. I'm going to do the same for the right image, right click, edit, and on the style panel, I'm going to select the shrink option. And now we have both images with the same animation. Let's see our reference side. And we are missing the background color of the column. So I'm going to go back to Elementor and I'm going to remove this gray background color by clicking on the column, right clicking there, edit column, on the style panel, and on the color option, I'm going to click on the color palette and click on the clear button. Now the background color is gone. I'm going to do the same on the right column. Right click here, edit, on the style panel, on the color option, the color picker, on the clear option to remove the background color, and we are going to update. Now let's go to the front end and I'm going to refresh here and see if everything is working as expected. Perfect. Very similar to the reference side. Now for the next section, that is the feature section, I'm going to change the text and the background color to be white, like this one. And the only thing I'm missing here is to change the color, this background color, to be the gray, the light gray color as this one you see here. So to do that, I'm going to go back to Elementor and I'm going to click on the section. You can right click here on the dots or on the whole section, right click there and edit section. On the style panel, you can select the background type to be solid or classic. And on the color section, I'm going to click on this icon, like a word. And I'm going to select my theme 5 color, which is my light gray color. Now my background is gray. And I'm going to change the background color of the next section right away. Right clicking on the section, edit section. On the style panel, I'm going to go to the color section on the color palette and I'm going to clear that color to be white. I'm going to update and I'm going to check if everything is going like on the reference website. This is the reference one and this is the one I'm changing. And now it looks very similar. What I'm going to do now is just to change a little bit the text of the feature section. I'm going to remove this text feature. I'm going to remove the plans word. To do that, I'm going to Elementor again. I'm going to click on the text. Only click or right click, edit heading is the same thing. And here you can remove the text. On the reference side, this heading is bold. So to change that, I'm going back to Elementor on the Style tab and on the typography option, you click the pencil and you can change the weight option to be, let's say, 600. I think that one is the right one. Yeah. You can also change the font size, whatever you want. That one is perfect to me. And for the featured products, you might think, how can I change the products that are displayed here? If I right click here on this section, you can edit the shortcode and you are going to see that there is some kind of text here. This is called a shortcode. WordPress has some shortcodes to easily display information. In this case, we are displaying products. As you can see here, we are displaying a limit of 8 products and in 4 columns. And on the visibility option, we have the feature. So we are displaying the featured products. So how can you make a product to be featured? Let me explain you that really quick. I'm going to update here. And I'm going to exit Elementor by clicking on the hamburger option, the hamburger menu, and clicking the exit option. If you see this window, click on the apply option and you'll be taken to the post. In this case, it's the home page. Click on the WordPress icon here and click on the products option. I'm going to show you how to create products later in this tutorial, but just to show you how to make a product feature, you can just click on the star icon and it's going to be featured. When I click here, the page reloads, and if you go to the front end again, you probably will see this product feature, as you can see here. So I'm going to go back to my home page by going to the page menu and to the home, hovering over the home page and clicking edit with Elementor. And the next thing I'm going to change is the next section. I'm going to remove the plans and everything related with plans on these icons. I'm going to click here and I'm going to remove the text, the plans text on the left panel. I'm going to add here new collection. Let's see on the reference side. I'm going to change the icon. I'm going to do that by going again to Elementor and clicking on the icon box, clicking here. And you can select any of these icons. They are free. In my case, I'm going to look for the shirt icon. It's here. I'm going to click there and insert. And it was changed. And you can of course change any of this information. For the next section, I'm going to delete this whole section by clicking on the X icon here of the section, and it's going to be removed. I'm going to update and I'm going to check what's next. You have the testimonials. I'm not going to change that section, but if you want, you can change the photos and you can add testimonials of your customers. And that will be it. So in my case, I have to delete the last part. I'm going to update here just to see how it's going. I have the icon section, the testimonials, and I have to delete this last section. So to do that again, I'm going to Elementor and scroll down a little bit, hovering over the section, and I'm going to click on the X icon here. A great tip I can give you is that if you need to add a new section, you can use the pre-built section or components that this Astra theme has. You can do that by clicking on this icon. And you are going to find this blocks menu, click there. And you are going to see that we have a lot of pre-built blocks that you can use. All of them are available for you. The one that you like, you have just to click there and then you can import the block. And there you have it. A new block is there and you can change the information. In this case, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to remove it and I'm going to update. I'm going to check on the front end that everything is done. And the only thing I'm missing is to check the responsive version of the website. I can do that straight in Elementor by clicking in this icon, the responsive mode, and you are going to see this bar. If you click, for instance, on the mobile, on the cell phone, the previous section is going to change, and here you can refine the mobile view. So for instance, in this case, I see that we need to make some adjustment to the text. I have to make some adjustment here to remove this blank space. So let's do that. The first thing I'm going to do is to right click on this big heading, right click here, edit heading, and I'm going to go to the style tab to decrease the size of this text. So if you click on the typography and the pencil, you can see here that the size has a mobile icon. That means that you are changing the style only specifically to the mobile devices. So if you change the font size, let's see, like this, that will be better. And I'm going to decrease this font size as well. Right click here, edit, on the style tab, and then click on the pencil, typography, and I'm going to decrease a little bit this font. That's much better. Then I'm going to decrease a little bit the border of this heading. I'm going to right click on the heading, edit heading, and here on the text stroke, I'm going to click here and I'm going to decrease the stroke a little bit. That's better. Now I'm going to scroll down a little bit just to remove this blank space from the section. So I'm going to right click on the column icon, edit, and here on the advanced tab, I'm going to click on the link button of the padding section, click here, and I'm going to add 15 of padding to have a little bit of space on the column, but not too much. I'm going to do the same for the next section, right click on the column, edit column. On the advanced tab, I'm going to click on the link button and I'm going to do here 15. And there you have it. The mobile view is better, it's much better now. This one is good, this one is good. Now I have to double check the tablet view. I have to do the same, click on the tablet icon. I'm going to right click on the main heading, edit heading. I'm going to edit the font size. I'm going to decrease the font size a little bit, like this. And I'm going to decrease the text stroke a little bit, like this. And I see that we have an empty space here. That means that the column has a space there. I'm going to right click on the column, edit column, and on the advanced tab, I'm going to remove this padding right. I'm going to do 0 here, and the margin right is going to be 0 as well. I'm going to remove this left padding too. Everything is 0, it's better. Now I'm going to decrease the new collection text. Right click there, edit heading, and in the typography option, click on the pencil, and I'm going to decrease a little bit. That's much better. The same thing goes for the columns. Right click on the column icon, edit column, and on the advanced tab, I'm going to click on the link option and I'm going to change this to 15, let's say. Yeah, that looks good. Same here for the other one. Right click on the column, edit column, click on the link. And here I'm going to change to 15. That's much better for the tablet view. Everything looks good. And now our homepage looks good in every device. I'm going to update here and we'll have our homepage complete. I'm going to check on the front end and everything is looking good. Now I'm going to show you how to create the products of your shop. But the first thing I would like you to do is to define the product categories. And that's going to depend on what you are selling. In my case, I'm selling shoes and accessories for women and for men. So my product categories are going to be women and men, and inside women I'm going to have shoes and accessories, and inside men I will have shoes and accessories as well. So to do that, to define the product categories, I'm going to go to WordPress again. I'm going to close Elementor. I'm not going to edit anymore, so I'm going to click here on the hamburger menu and on the exit button. Let's click on the WordPress icon to go back to the administration. So now I'm going to delete all of the products or the example products. Going to the products menu, clicking there. And we have here all of the products. I'm going to click in this checkbox to select all of the products. And here on the bulk actions select, I'm going to click on the move to trash option and then click on the apply button. This is going to move all of the products to the trash. As you can see here, the trash has now 12 items. And now you can go to the categories option here. And as you can see here, we have 3 categories: uncategorized, cactus, and plants. I'm going to delete the plants categories by select all of them, and on the bulk actions option select, I'm going to select delete, and I'm going to click on the apply button. Now I only have the uncategorized category. I cannot remove this one. So I'm going to start creating my categories. So the first one I'm going to create is woman. I'm going to scroll down a little bit and click on the add new category button. And the category is going to appear here. Now I'm going to create the choose categories. And this choose categories is going to have a parent category, which is woman. I'm going to go down and create new category. And now the shoes category is under woman. And now I'm going to create the accessories category. And the parent category is going to be woman. Scroll down a little bit and add new category. Now we have woman, accessories, and shoes. And now I'm going to create the men category. And this main category is a top category, so it's not going to have a parent category. I'm going to select here and none. And I'm going to create a category. Now we have men and women on the same level. And I'm going to create now the shoes categories, but for the men category. Scroll down, add new category. And now the accessories category under men. Create the new category, and we have our basic structure, our product categories ready. Now we have to define the attributes. To explain this, I'm going to go to the reference page, and I'm going to go to the shop page. And as you can see here, I have a bag and shoes. The bag doesn't have any attribute, but the shoes has a size and color. If I change the color, I'm going to change the shoes. The same goes for the other bag. If I change the color, I can display another product. So those are attributes. So for instance, if you are selling clothes, an example of an attribute could be the size of the cloth or the color. Those are very common attributes you can see on the online shops. So to define the attributes, I'm going to go again to WordPress, and I'm going to click on the attributes menu. So the first attribute I'm going to create is the size. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and on the type, I'm going to select a label, because the size is going to be this, are going to be displayed as labels or as squares. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to click on the add attribute menu. And now I'm going to create the color attribute. Scroll down a little bit, and this one is going to be a color. On the shape option, I'm going to select circle to show the colors as circles. as you can see here. I'm going to add the attribute. And now that we have the attributes, color and size, I'm going to configure the terms. Click on this link in this option, configure terms. And now I have to start creating my colors or the colors of my products. I'm going to start adding the black color. And you have to select a color here. So I'm going to select the black color here. And I'm going to click the add new color button. Let's create another one, brown. Scroll down a little bit, select a brown color. Something like this. And click on the add new color button. Now I'm going to add a dark blue. Select the color. It's something like this. Add new color, gray. I'm going to add something like this. Add new color, and white. Add new color. Now I'm going to go back to the attributes menu because now I'm going to add my sizes. I'm going to click on the configure terms and I'm going to add my sizes. In this case, I'm selling shoes, so my sizes are going to be 38, add new size, 39, add new size, 40, 41, and 42. You can also add sizes like S, add new size, M, XL, etc. All of the sizes you have for your products. Now that we have our basic structure for the product categories and their attributes, I'm going to go to the All Products menu. And here I'm going to click the Add New Product to start creating my first product. And here, add the product name. In this case, I'm going to do bag. And here you can add a long description. I'm going to show you on a product that I already created. I'm going to go to this bag. And as you can see here, we have the product name, we have the price, we have a short description, we have the stock, we have the quantity, the gallery, and we have here the long description and the reviews. So for the product structure, you have here the name, here you have the long description. This should be the detailed description of the product. So I'm going to just copy this one. This is the long description. I'm going to paste it here. And next you have one of the most important things to configure. This is what kind of product are you creating? The options you have are a simple product, grouped, external, and variable. Today we are going to use simple product and variable product. And think on this as if you have a product that doesn't have any variation or any attribute, that one is a simple product. In this case, I'm selling this bag and this bag doesn't have any color, doesn't have any size, doesn't have anything. So this one is a simple product. So I'm going to create this simple product, selecting the option, and I'm going to add the price of the product. So this bag is $70. 70. If you want, you can add a sale price if you have it on sale. Then you have the inventory tab. This is for managing the stock. You can add an SKU if you want. And if you want to manage the stock quantities, you can check this one. And you can add here how many of this product do you have. So I have, let's say 20. And those are the most important configurations you have to do for the simple product. The next tab you have here is the short description, which is this one. It's a very short description. It should be catchy, it should be quick, easy to read. And I'm going to paste the description here. Now on the right side, on the right panel, you have the product image option. And here you have to start adding your images. So the product image is going to be the main image or the first one. So I'm going to upload my first image by going here and selecting set product image. I'm going to upload the image. I have here my 3 images. I'm going to upload the first one. You can add a null description and click on the set product image button. And there you have it. And next you have the product gallery option. This is for adding the next photos. So in this case you have the main one and the other ones are the gallery images. So let's add the next images by clicking there, and I'm going to upload my next images, selecting both of them, open it, and I have both images selected. I'm going to click the add to gallery button and you have it here. You can reorder the photos, or you can delete one of them if you want by clicking the X button. And next you have to add the product categories. In this case, this product belongs to the women accessories category. So I'm going to choose that by clicking here in accessories and in women. I'm selecting both of them because if a user goes to the women category, I would like the user to be able to see all of the women products. That's why I'm using the 2 categories. Now I'm going to scroll up and publish this product. You can click here on the URL, or you can go to the shop page. I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to the shop page, and there you have the first product. I'm going to click on the product. Since this product is $70, it's above 50, so that's why you can see the free shipping here. See the short description, the quantity, the stock, and you have the gallery. Below you have the description, and let's go to add our second product. Let's go back to the administration, and I'm going to click the add new button. And this product is going to be a variable one. So it's going to be the shoes variable, let's say. I'm going to add the full description. I'm going to see my reference. It's going to be this one. I'm going to copy the description. And this product is going to be a variable product because this one is going to have sizes and colors. So in this case, since I changed here the option to be variable, I'm going to see the inventory option, but I'm going to manage the stock on each product. So let's say if I have a shoe with the 41 size and the brown color, I'm going to manage the stock only for that product. So I'm not going to add the stock here, but on the variations. But first, you have to tell WooCommerce that you need some variations or some attributes for this product. So click on the attributes panel and then select which attributes you are going to use for the product. So you click here, custom product attribute, and you select the attributes you are going to use. So I'm going to use colors. I'm going to add here, and I'm going to use sizes. Add. Now you have to choose which colors and which sizes you are going to use. So for these shoes, in this case, I have, let's say brown and which other? Oh, this one is black and white. So let's go to, I'm going to delete this one and I'm going to add black and I'm going to add white. And for the sizes, I have 38, 39 and 40. So I'm going to add that here. 38, 39 and 40. Please make sure to select this checkbox here, use for variations, click here and click here. And now click on the Save Attributes button. Now we have our attributes. The next thing you have to do is to go to the Variations panel to create the products. So what I'm going to do is to click this option here and I'm going to select Create Variation from All Attributes. Click here and click on the Go button and click on the Accept button. WooCommerce is saying me that 6 variations were added. Click on the Accept button and you are going to have the combinations for each size and each color. So we have black 38, black 39, black 40, white 38, white 39 and white 40. So for each of them, you have to configure the price and the stock or the quantity. To do that, click on the variation and you are going to see that you have many options here. The first thing you are going to do is to click the image to select the image of the variation. In this case, I'm going to upload the files and I have my 2 versions of the shoe. So I'm going to select both of them to upload it. Since this is the black variation, I'm going to select the black shoe and set variation image. This is black 38, so I select the black image. Now I'm going to click the Manage Stock button. Here you can add an SKU and you have to add the regular price. In this case, this shoe is going to be 90. You can add a sale price if you want, and you can add the stock quantity. Let's say I have 40 of this. Now I'm going to do the same for the next one, black 39. I'm going to select the black shoe. I'm going to enable the stock. This is 90 as well. And I have 15 of this. For the next one, I'm going to select the black shoe and manage the stock. The price is going to be 90, but I'm going to add a sale price of 82, let's say. The stock quantity is going to be 20 in this case. And I'm going to do the same for the remaining products. This is the white one. So I'm going to select the white image, manage stock. This is 90. I have 12, let's say. Same for the next. This is the white one. And manage the stock, 90. And I have, let's say, 43. And for the last one, the same. Click on the image, manage the stock. This is 90. And let's say this is on sale of 78. And I have only 8. Scroll down a little bit and click on the Save Changes button. Now you have all your variations. And here you can select which one is going to be the default option. So let's say it's going to be my black one and 39. Save changes. And here you can add your short description. And next, I'm going to add the product image. This is going to be the black ones. This is the default option. And for the product gallery, I'm just going to add the white one, just to have both of them. Now this is going to be women shoes for category, and that will be it. I can publish this one. Now I'm going to the shop again, the shop page. And here I have my shoe. And I can see here my variations. So I have the white and the black one. I can see the product clicking on it. And as you can see here, I have the default one selected, black and 39. And for the 40, it's on sale. and the white one 40 is on sale as well. 39 is not, 38 is not, but 40 is on sale. And you have the gallery, and you have the long description, and you have a related product. Everything is going really well. The only thing here is that the attributes of the product are left aligned. So I'm going to change that by going again to WordPress, and I'm going to go to WooCommerce variation swatches. I'm going to click on the settings button, and then I'm going to click on the shop page styling. Here you can change the alignment to be center. Now it's going to save automatically, and I'm going back to the shop page and refresh. Now my attributes are centered. Now I'm going to create a new product by going back to WordPress and going to click on the products, add new, and this one is going to be a bag, but it's going to be variable. I'm going to have as reference this one here. I'm going to copy the full description. This is example text, and this is going to be a variable product. I'm going to click the attributes to add the attributes. In this case are going to be only colors. Click on the color and add, and this bag is, we have brown and we have dark blue. I'm going to click the use for variation and click on the save attributes. Now I'm going to the variations tab, and I'm going to select create variations from all attributes. Go and accept. Now 2 variations were added, and now I have to click on each of them, select the image. This one is the brown one. I'm going to upload the file. I'm going to upload both of them already. Now I'm going to select the brown one, set, manage stock. This one is, let's say, $60, and let's say it's on sale as $45, and I have only 3. And the dark blue, I'm going to select the image, manage stock, and this one is let's say 65, and I have 20. Click on the save changes button, and now you can select the default one, that in my case is going to be the dark blue. Save changes. Now you can select the product images. The main one is going to be the dark blue, and for the gallery I'm going to select the brown one. This one is going to be men accessories. Now let's publish this one, and now going to my shop page, it should appear here. Here it is. I'm going to click on the product just to double check. Everything seems to be working fine. And now you know how to create products with WooCommerce. Now I'm going to show you how to connect Stripe to your e-commerce store. To do that, you have to create an account in Stripe, as I did, and the account must be validated. So the first thing we need to do is go back to WordPress, and then go to WooCommerce and Settings. Click on the Payments tab, and here you can click on the Stripe card processing option, and you have to go back to the Stripe API settings menu, and now you can click the Connect with Stripe button. As I told you, you need to have an Stripe account and it must be verified. So when you click the button, it's recognized here. This is my account, and now I can click on the Connect button. Now that my account is connected, I can choose which payment methods I'm going to accept. I'm going to leave the Stripe card processing enabled, and then I'm going to click the Enable Gateways button. You can also enable the Express Checkout if you want. If you don't want, you can click here. I'm going to enable it. And this step is very important. Here we need to add the test webhook secret and the live secret. So to get that data, I'm going to leave this in test, and I'm going to my Stripe account. Right now my website is in test mode, so we can test the whole purchase process. So make sure you have the test mode enabled, and now you can copy the secret key. I click here, and now I'm going to click again to copy the key, and I'm going to paste it on the wizard. So for the test mode, I'm going to paste my test secret. I'm going to add my live secret after I finish testing everything. So I'm going to click the save and continue button, and now everything is done. Let's click the button again. And now I'm going to recreate a payment process. Well, I have one item added to the cart. Let's see. Oh, this one doesn't exist anymore, so I'm going to remove it. I'm going to close the cart, and I'm going to add this bag. I'm going to click the Add to Cart button, and now my bag was added. Well, now I can see the Google Pay button, but I'm going to go to the checkout. I'm going to click the View Cart button. Now I'm going to continue to the checkout. And now I'm going to see that I can pay with the Stripe. There are some things you can personalize here. You can edit. If you go back to the administration, you can change the title. That is going to be this one. And you can change the button label. That is going to be this one. And you can change the statement description. That is the name that is going to appear in the statement of the user. So you can change this for the name of your store. You can also select the cards you want to accept. I'm going to accept all of them. And now to finish the testing, I'm going to go back to the checkout. And as you can see here, the test mode is enabled. So I'm going to use this card number. Going to copy this one and paste it here, and you can use any future date, let's say 12 and 25, and the CVV could be 111 or whatever you want. And now you can pay, but before you need to fill the form here, the billing details. So I'm going to do that really quick. I'm going to add a test node just to show you how this works. And I'm going to add again the card with the date and the CVV. Now I can pay. And if you see this confirmation pay, everything is working fine. So now let's go to confirm that everything was received. I'm going to go back to WordPress. And here I'm going to go to the orders menu. And as you can see here, I have one order. This is the one I just did. And here you have all of the user data. So this is good. I'm going to go back to the settings and to the payments. And again to the Stripe card processing, because now I'm going to enable the live mode. I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's go back to the Stripe API settings. I have here my test mode enabled, but now I'm going to move to the live mode, the one that is going to be used for your final users. But we need to add the secret hook. So to do that, I'm going to go back to my Stripe account, and let's see here, and my cell was registered here, so that means it's going correctly. So everything is good to go live. I'm going to disable the test mode to go live. And since I already copied my secret key, this one cannot be revealed. So I have to go to the developer dashboard but you should see the option to create your key. So now I'm going to copy my key and I'm going to paste it here and I'm going to save my changes. If you don't want to use Stripe but you want to use PayPal, for instance, you can install a different plugin. So if you go to plugins, add new, you can search here for another payment method like PayPal, for instance. And you are going to see WooCommerce PayPal payment, for instance, payment plugin for PayPal WooCommerce. So it's just a matter of search for your payment gateway here. Once you have your payment gateway installed, you have to go to WooCommerce settings and to the payment tab. And you should be able to see your payment method here. So you need to enable it and configure it by clicking on the payment method name. Now you know how to install and configure your payment gateways. It's time to show you how to manage your orders. Go to the WooCommerce menu and then to the Orders menu. And when a user purchases any product in your store, you are going to see an order here. If the order was paid correctly, it's going to show you a status of processing. That means the order was paid correctly. The user and you are going to receive an email confirming the order. And if you click the order number, you can check all the data on the summary of the order and the user data. Here is the customer note I added on the checkout. If you already sent the product, you can change the order from processing to completed. Now you can update the order and the user is going to receive an email confirming that you sent the product, that the order is completed. You can go back to the orders, and if you want to delete an order, you can click on the select. If you want to delete all of the orders, you can click this checkbox here, and on the bulk actions select, move to trash and then apply. You can also complete many orders or change the status to on hold, to canceled, to processing. But normally the only action you need to do is to change the order status from processing to completed. Now I'm going to show you some final details you can add or change on your store. The first one is going to be changing the icon of the site. To do that, let's go back to WordPress. Let's go to Appearance and Customize. And here under Site Identity, you can change the site icon. Click on the select site icon and you are going to see this message: suggested image dimensions 512 by 512 pixels. So you have to select your image, basically the logo of your store or your company with this dimension. But if you don't have that dimension, it's fine too. Select your image. I'm going to use the same logo. And then click on the select button. And now you have to crop your image. You have to select the part of the logo you want to show as icon. And as you can see here, when I'm dragging this square, the preview is updated on the right. I'm going to select just the first part of my logo and I'm going to click the crop image button. And now I can publish my changes. If I go back to my front end and refresh, I'm going to go to my home page better. Now my logo was updated. If I hover over the tab of the browser, you can see that it says my WordPress, just another WordPress site. So I'm going to change that because that's important for SEO or search engine optimization. Let's go back here. And to change that, you have to close the customizer and go to Settings, General. Here you can see that you have two options, site title and tagline. So you have to customize this one. Now you can scroll down and save your changes. And let's go to my front end and refresh the home page. And now the tagline says my awesome store, shoes and accessories. The other thing I want you to make sure is that your website is crawlable or is indexable by Google. So going back to my settings again, go to the reading menu and make sure this option here is not selected. If this option is selected, this website is not going to be visible by any search engine. So make sure it's not enabled. Another detail I wanted to show you is that our shop page, if I access here, on the URL, this page has a -2. So I'm going to remove that by going to my pages, here pages. I'm going to hover over the shop page and I'm going to click the quick edit button. Now I'm going to remove the 2, the number, and the hyphen, and I'm going to update. I'm going to check my other pages just to see if they have the same problem. If I hover over the view option, I can see that this page had the same mistake. I'm going to remove that part, the -2, to the cart, and let's say to the checkout has the same problem. That is not a problem, it's just that it's better to not have that. The contact page doesn't have that. The home page, let's see, doesn't have that. My account, we fixed that already. Now let's delete everything from the trash because we need to have our URLs available. And now I'm going to click on the empty trash button. And just to make sure, I'm going to go to the settings, permalinks. And here I'm not going to do anything but just clicking the Save Changes button to clean the permalinks. Now I'm going to refresh my home page and I'm going to go to the shop and everything is correct now. If I go to a product and I add it to the cart and I click the cart button, everything is right now. The final detail I'm going to show you how to change or to add are the widgets on the shop page. To customize this, you can do it by going to the appearance and the customize menu. Let's go here to the shop page. And if you scroll down on the left panel, you are going to see the widgets menu. And here I can see the WooCommerce sidebar, which is displaying all of my widgets. To add a widget, scroll down all the way on the left panel and click on the Add Block icon, the plus icon. If you click the Browse All button, you are going to see all of the available widgets. Let's go to the reference site to check which one I have here. And I have a filter by price that we already have on our current one. We have filter by size. We have filter by color, we have the categories and the deals. So I'm missing adding these two. To do that, let's go to the customizer and on the search box, search for attribute. Now you see we have two widgets available and let's click on the filter by attribute widget. Now the widget was added here and here you can decide which attribute you want to filter for. In this case, I'm going to add the size first and I'm going to click on the Done menu, Done button. And now you can reorder this filter by clicking here and dragging to the top, scroll up, and I'm going to place this as second widget. You have your filter by size here. Now I'm going to scroll down again and add the filter by color. I have here already the filter because I just added one, so it's the most recent one. I'm going to click here again, filter by attribute, and this one is going to be the filter by color. Click on the Done button and drag the widget to the top. Let's see here, and now I'm going to publish. Let's go to the front end and refresh. Now I have my filter by size and my filter by color, which is displaying how many products we have by size and how many we have by color. So if I click the dark blue, for instance, the website is going to reload and it's going to show me products only I filter for. I can click the reset button again just to show everything. And the final detail I'm going to show you how to change is to add new menus. To do that, let's go to our customizer again, go back here again, scroll down, and let's go to the menus menu. Our main menu is the main menu here, so click here and you can click the add items button. If you want to add product categories, you have to click here on the product categories and you can select which ones you want to add. In my case, I'm going to add the women and the men first. Now I'm going to go ahead and reorder. For the women, I'm going to click on the top on the arrow up, and same for men. And now they are under the shop menu, but they are top level. So what I'm going to do now is to click on the right arrow, and the same for the men. And now they are dependent or child of the shop page. If you see here on the right, there are already a drop-down menu. I'm going to click the done link and publish. Now I'm going to refresh here just to double check, and everything is working just fine. Congratulations! You have now your professional e-commerce website ready to start selling. If you have any questions, leave it on the comment box. I'm going to answer all of them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and enable the notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. See you on the next one. Bye.